Hey there, I'm David.
And I'm Angelique, and we are
Adventures on Deck. Intro. Hey, welcome back to another episode. This is week number 2. We had a lot of fun last time doing our introduction and saying hi to everybody. This time we wanted to go over our very first cruise that we ever took. It was September of 2019 into October of 2019. I think we left on
the 28th.
The 28th of September. It was on the Carnival Vista sailing out of Galveston, Texas. So we had an amazing time. It was our first trip ever. For cruising anyway. Some friends of ours had convinced us that we should definitely give cruising a shot. We've been talking about doing it for quite some time, and they finally got us to bite the bullet and go. And we're so glad we did. So
Absolutely.
Thank you to you guys. You know who you are. We're not going to drop your names in here, but but you guys know who you are. So thank you so much for convincing us to go. We're so excited that we did, and we fell in love with cruising ever since. So thank you guys so much. None of this would be possible without you guys.
It seriously was life-changing.
Absolutely. So I think first we wanted to go over what our top 3 things each that we really liked about this first trip on a cruise ship. So you want to go first?
Yeah. So my 3 things were Kyndall Fire, which for those of you who don't know, Kyndall Fire is one of the cruise directors for Carnival. She happened to be our cruise director on this ship. We, not cruising before, had no idea what a cruise director did. So as we talk about our cruise, we'll discuss and point out highlights, how she and all of these other things really impacted our trip.
Yeah, she was amazing.
The second thing for me was the Cove balcony. So there are different kinds of balconies available on Carnival ships, but the Cove balcony, which is on deck 2 on the Vista, and I think on the other ships too, they're usually deck 2. Gorgeous balcony. I absolutely loved it. The third thing is really a place, and it's Ocean Plaza. So I'll talk about all the fun things that I experienced there.
So my 3 things. So I 2 of mine are in the same spot. So the atrium on the Carnival Vista is absolutely gorgeous, and we'll put some pictures up of that. But it looks absolutely incredible. And in that same area, so that's my number 1. I think that because they change the designs on that all the time. Every few seconds or so, it rotates to something different. They can do different themes and all types of cool things. And it looks just absolutely phenomenal. I love that area of the ship. And it's where you first walk into the ship. So it's really nice. You walk in.
It's a great way to greet. Just
right.
There's your vacation right there.
And there's a bar right there, which is great. You can walk in, get the atrium, and get a drink and just hang out, have a good time. Yeah, that's her thing now. Like, she comes in and grabs a Miami Vice every time. I'm not too picky. I'll grab whatever. But yeah, so we just have a great time there. Walking in, it's a great welcome back. Like, you feel like you're home again. You feel like you're in the right spot. So yeah, I really enjoy that area. It's great. And then also in that same spot, they had some amazing, and I forget the name of the group, and I wish I remembered, but they did a phenomenal job of playing violins live throughout the cruise in that spot. And there were some other performers there too, but there's just like this trio that was doing violins, and it was just absolutely phenomenal. They did an amazing job. So I'm sorry I forgot your names if you happen to watch this ever, but
classical music either. It was contemporary, like pop songs,
modern
things
music,
that you're used to hearing on the radio or iTunes or whatever, and there it was. Like it was really
it was
neat.
Great. They did an amazing job. So those are my 3 things that I really love. That list could be huge. Oh, that's 2. I'm sorry. The third one for me was
piano bar.
The piano bar.
bar.
The piano bar is amazing. It's again, I'm a huge fan, if you couldn't tell already, of live music. So the piano bar was phenomenal for me. Being able to just sit there and relax and have somebody playing some amazing live music. He was taking requests and things like that as well, which is really nice. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had an amazing time there, just hanging out, listening to some music.
To start our trip, we had a full sea day, and then our first port was Mahogany Bay. Honduras.
Well, but before we get into Honduras, though, we've got to talk about Sea Day brunch. So,
that's true. That's
Sea Day brunch is phenomenal. Now, you guys have heard a lot, I'm sure, already about Guy's Burgers, which they're incredible. I love Guy's Burgers. Got to get at least a couple of those every cruise. Blue Iguana Cantina is an amazing place to go to.
Breakfast.
Right.
Really
but on Sea Days, because you only get a couple of these, so on Sea Days, I highly, highly recommend Sea Day brunch in the main dining room. There's some amazing food. So the burgers there are really good. She typically ends up getting a burger somewhere or something.
I like to dabble. So because there's not really a limit on what you can eat, I will try a burger or something and then try something else. Yeah. So yeah, I'm adventurous.
I'm a breakfast guy. So my Sea Day brunch for me is all about the French toast. It's the steak and eggs. They can give you filet mignon with for the steak and eggs, which is amazing.
But the French toast.
The French toast is so good.
You don't even need syrup. It's so good.
You don't. It's a cube. I'll put a picture up here. But yeah, there's a cube of just
amazingness.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
It's phenomenal. And then you get to Honduras.
Yeah. And so,
which we love, by the way.
We were really excited. We picked a Carnival excursion. This one was to the Mayan Princess Resort,
which our friends had been to before and told us about, and they were with us on this cruise. So they had gone there and had a great time and suggested that we go. So the four of us all went for that one together.
Now, at this particular location, again, this is 2019. The beach was open, but there were vendors there. So I mean, it was gorgeous. But we ended up with the all-inclusive benefits that you get there. You get your drinks, you have a buffet, you have your food. We actually ended up going and hanging out by the pool. And
we did, which was odd, honestly, at first. I thought it was kind of weird because we're going to this gorgeous country and at this amazing beach, and we're in a pool, right? Which sounds kind of counterintuitive. And it was at first, but honestly, the vendors in Honduras, there were so many of them. Like, we went out and they're just lined at the beach, just waiting for you to go. And we're just looking at it like, I don't really feel like dealing with that. Yeah. So honestly, we just went into the pool, and because they can't get to the pool area. So we just kind of hung out there and had an amazing time.
Amazing wait staff.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. We met some other people out there and had a good time with them as well. So yeah, we had an amazing time meeting some new people, having some amazing drinks, and hanging out in the pool. And we just did that all day in Honduras, which is an amazing time.
The next day was Belize.
Yeah.
Belize, you have to tender to, so they don't like go into port where you can walk off the ship. You get onto a smaller boat and you take that about 15 minutes? Something
like that. Yeah. There's little stands off to your right hand side in the port when you're about halfway down the port, maybe a little bit more than halfway down the port. And they'll chop up fresh coconuts right there for you. And there's coconut water in them, obviously, because it's fresh coconut. And what I would suggest is, even if you like coconut, drink the coconut water out first. Because what they'll do is they will fill up that coconut with as much rum as you possibly want. And it's for $15. So drink the coconut water out first. Get them to pour, or at least maybe a little. If you like coconut water, leave some in there, and then have them fill it up with with alcohol. They'll put rum in there, and then they'll put in some what was the juice?
Passion fruit.
Yeah. Which is amazing. And then you drink that down, and they'll do a refill for you for $8. Is it $8? $6? Yeah. They'll do a refill, and it's phenomenal. And then at the end, whenever you're done with it, you bring your coconut back if you want. They'll chop it up for you, and you can like eat your coconut afterwards when you're done with the alcohol. But yeah, so you can keep getting refills there. So we just hung out in the port that day and had an amazing time. We had some local beer there as well, Belkin beer, which is amazing beer. So yeah, had a great time just hanging out in the port.
Cozumel's beautiful.
Cozumel is amazing.
It's gorgeous.
Mr. Sanchos is incredible. We were wondering between Mr. Sanchos and Nachi.
Cocom,
which one we would like better. We'll recap that one later in our second cruise video because we went to Nachi in our second time to Cozumel. But Mr. Sanchos was phenomenal. We had such an amazing time there. The water there was just gorgeous.
Beautiful. I mean, it seriously felt like paradise. Like this 100%. Belonged in a movie somewhere, 100%. And yet there we were. So I think that's part of my favorite thing about cruising too, is that some of the scenery, some of the things that you see, you've seen it on TV maybe,
Right.
or as a really beautiful backdrop for something or a wallpaper.
Right.
But you look through these photos on your phone and you're thinking, oh my God, I took that. Like
Right.
I was there. And then
Yeah.
you remember being surrounded by just the wind and the sea, and just it's wonderful.
It's amazing. It was amazing. But yeah, Mr. Sancho's phenomenal. The food there was great. You can go and they have a buffet there that's all included. It's $65 a person. You paid $5 per person as a deposit up front. You pay the remaining when you get there on the day of. So it's $65 total per person.
They've got very limited vendors too. The vendors don't come to you up on the beach and do all of that
well, they
stuff.
do. There's a few, but it's like, not a ton of them. And if you tell them no, they'll kind of leave you alone. It's not bad. Like, they will come and ask you, but they're at least polite.
There was somebody with a parrot
about it. Yeah, which is really cool. We had an amazing time in Cozumel. It was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and then after that, it was just another sea day and back at home.
And the worst day is the last day.
It's so sad.
You get off the ship and you head back home. But overall, I think it was a great experience. I think that our first cruise couldn't have gone any better. We met people on that ship that we still are in contact with now. It's been over 2 years. They're actually invited to our wedding.
Yeah.
We've met some amazing people there, and wouldn't have had it any other way. We learned a lot. We had a great time. Thank you to our friends that invited us to go out there.
Yes.
We wouldn't have done it without you, and to the friends that we met on that ship. You know, you guys are phenomenal. We had an amazing time with you. We're so excited to go cruising with you again.
We tell stories about you all the time.
We do. I way too often probably,
Yeah.
but that's why we had to make a whole YouTube channel, so there's more people for us to talk to. Or even if there's no one to talk to, we're just talking to a camera.
Yeah.
And whatever, at least we're still talking about cruising, even if nobody watches it, which is perfectly fine with me. Like, I just love talking about cruising so much. So it's great to be able to do that.
To really, I think that's what helped us connect so much with the people that we did meet on this first cruise. That, like I said, like he said, are now invited to our wedding.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's not like we're having 400 or 500 people at a wedding.
Right.
We're having a very small
30,
wedding.
Well, the plan is for 30 people. It's getting changed around with COVID now and all types of different things happening there, but we'll see where it ends up. But right now it's around 30 people that are invited, and
they made the cut. And one of the things that we love about it is you get so passionate. You feel so passionate about this and about experiencing these things that you didn't really think you could do, and making these memories. And you meet these other people who are just as excited to be there, and come from all walks of life.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy.
Absolutely.
It's really, really neat.
All right, so that's it for our recap of our first cruise on Carnival Vista in 2019. Again, we had an amazing time. Loved every minute of it. We had such a fun 7 days.
Yeah. It's just the wait staff, the room steward,
phenomenal.
the cruise director, just everyone.
Yeah.
It was so life-changing. It really, really was.
Right. And we've got so many more stories about those people and different things that happen and stuff like that, and more details, but I mean, this is already getting to be a longer video, so we'll save those for another time and go into some more details about different things later. But we had so many stories from that cruise and such an amazing time. But anyway, so thank you guys for coming along on the journey with us, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.